Well, what's up, all of you weirdos? What is going on? Hmm. As usual, we will wait about 5 minutes, see who shows up here, and we'll get a little chitty chat going. And maybe we'll even play with the colors on here today. Let's see what we got going on here. Who knows? Ah, I kind of like this one because a friend of mine was talking about the fifth dimension. And earlier today, I was thinking about drawing and making a sigil and making a few notations and thinking about the structure of black and white and how that is possibly representative of the space in between spaces that brings about dimensionality, or in essence, takes the thoughts inside of our head into 3D in sort of this dream world. And let's see what's going on here. We'll play with this for a little bit. Hey, what's up, Jordan? And Zach Chrono, you got the notification? What's up, Unstance and AT? Let me go refill my goblet. Might as well just bring it with me. I'm not even prepared. Look at this. That's the thing about preparation. It's being always ill prepared, but exceptionally prepared. So, yeah, I was watching some Awaken Brave. Do you all know who Awaken Brave is? I'm sure you do. And David Phillips, if you all know David Phillips, he was just on the Awaken Brave show. So I was watching that, and that was and this thing is tripping me out. I can't do this right now. We'll make it bubbly maybe, or normal, or a dance party, or glamour. We'll make it glamorous. How's that? I'll do it glamorous. Even though I'm not looking very glamorous right now. What's up, Sun Soul? What is tracers? Yeah, I know. I was. Yeah, that's. I felt like I just did some LSD, and like I haven't touched that in years. But yeah, do you all know the Awakened Brave? Anybody on here? What up, Resonance Creative? What up, Damien? I just have not been inspired at all about anything in life whatsoever in the past couple weeks. Yeah, just in that lull. And today I was like, I wanted to make a video, but I had nothing to talk about once again. Not that I normally do. See, people don't know this, but whenever I've been doing these shows I don't know, the past year really, and even the live ones for the past few months, I just hit the button and start talking. But lately I don't even want to hit the button because I really have nothing to say. I'm like I don't know what I'm going to speak about today. But today I really felt like, I don't know, inspired by David Phillips and the Awakened Brave, they were making a video about I don't know, just a bunch of different things: urine therapy and monoatomics and EMFs and a bunch of different things. And earlier today, I was reading a new author. Um, let me pull it out right here, and I'll bet this is somebody that no one here has ever heard of. So you can get your pens and pencils out and take notes, and so you can get into the deep recesses of arcane wisdom that was brought to the teachers that I know from the 1950s and 1960s. They learned from these people in the 1900s, and I'm about to hit you up with the name right here. And if anybody's heard of this dude, that'd be amazing. But here it is. His name is here we go. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna find it. The building up the intensity. What is his name? What is his name? Let's scroll through here. Douglas Fawcett. Douglas Fawcett. Fawcett. And he wrote a bunch. It's very funny. The book that I'm reading. Well, there's three of them that I'm reading right now by him, and this one's called the Constituting the Outlines of a Philosophy of Mysticism. and it's on the problems of cosmic import. And this came from this person's name came from Neville Goddard. And very interestingly enough, when I first tried to find this, the resource gave me the it gave me the title of this book, but then somebody gave like a told it was telling what the book was about, and it was about fishing. And this book has nothing to do with fishing whatsoever. But the entire synopsis of the book was all about fishing. To like, I don't know, because the book was really expensive on Amazon. It was like a $300 book. But if you go through the PDFs, so again, his name, Edward Douglas Fawcett, and other book is The World as Imagination and the Individual and Reality, an essay on the first principle of metaphysics. And there was a couple really good quotes in here I wanted to use as a jump off point, but I figured I'll let all of you inspire me to talk about something, because I really don't know where to go. So Zach Krona, you've heard of him. Interesting. Oh, nice. Well, Zach Chrono, I appreciate that you put down a video game for me, because funny enough, I just cracked open the old Xbox today and played a couple video games, and I was like, this ain't sitting right now. There's sunshine outside, and I was a little bit sore, so I went to the hot tub because I played basketball yesterday for the first time in months. What's up, Barbara Parker? Barbara Parker, an Aztec. Texas backwards is Aztecs. Is the technology of language. Residence Creative. I don't know what happens when you touch the Milky Way. The candy bar? I assume you get diabetes. What up, Unstance? Alright, Electric Dow. What up, Doobie Brown? I've not read, what up, Dewey Brown? I've not read The Perennial Philosophy by Aldous Huxley. I like Huxley, but I've not read that. Alright, Cam, we'll see. I don't know how long I'll be out here. Katesh, okay, good place to start. I don't think that being anything. I don't think being happy, sad, depressed, grateful, thankful relates to manifestation in any way, shape, or form. It only deals with the frequency and energy of vibrational matrix of conforming to what do I want and what do I desire. The universe functions on one rule. It's manifestation that is delivered to you through desire. Any desire, whatever it is. You could be an ungrateful little brat. You could be the people that are actually selling drugs to homeless children. You know what I mean? You could be anywhere in the world, doing anything, things that are really shitty and terrible, and be receiving everything you desire in life. Because there is no justifying fact. There is no justice in the world. All there is delivery of whatever mental algorithm you have. This is what I want, and this is what I shall receive. If you meditate in a depressive state, you're going to stay depressed. As Neville Goddard says, you'll drink it to the last drop. Meaning, if you get yourself in a state of being ungrateful, maybe you'll be ungrateful, but you'll still get the things that you'll have. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to have... If you lived a life of not having anything, or not having anything at all, really, like you would not be grateful for anything because you didn't have anything, but you could still aspire to betterment. And so that aspiration and that focus and energy into obtaining whatever it is your goal is. If your goal is meeting a woman, if your goal is meeting a man, if it's having a relationship, if it's getting a dog, if it's getting money, if it's getting food, if it's getting power, if it's getting whatever it is, it will manifest for you. There's no judgment of anything in the universe, and gratefulness or ungratefulness doesn't have anything to do with it. This is why people get fat and lazy, because they're not grateful for the things they have. I mean, this is a whole other conversation, in the sense of, yes, it would be more beneficial to be grateful, but how do you teach somebody to be grateful? Well, you don't. It's the same way we're born loving beings, but we're taught how to be pieces of shit, basically. we're taught from coming out the womb, no, 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 you can't have, and the world's a weird place. Like that's everyone's taught that. Some people somehow find a way through certain systems. They get in places that energize them to be happy and grateful and find mystery in the universe. And a lot of people become too, you find mundane aspects. So, in a sense, yeah, it's better to be, but how do you tell someone you better be grateful for that, or oh, shouldn't you be grateful? The person walking around, hopping around on one leg, would be grateful that you have a leg and not, and that kind of that's not the motive force behind how you obtain whatever you want in the future. So it really has nothing to do with it. It'd be better to be grateful, sure, but shit, some people need to go through times of being ungrateful, being whatever they are at the time. It's the same way as I've spoken at length about people being accepting depression or accepting anxiety or accepting whatever state they're in, because without being in that state, they can't get to whatever place they want to be at. If you don't immerse yourself in whatever energetic forces you're inside of, then you can't get to the next thing you want because you don't understand what that is. And too many people are like, oh, I'm depressed, I need to get out of that. Take the pill, do this, do that, get away, depression, rather than just immersing themselves in it. So that would be like to say, hey, be grateful for your depression. At least you're alive to be depressed. I don't think gratitude has a frequency, Katesh. Yeah, Zach Chrono. Yeah, well, I think after this, Zach Chrono, I'm gonna jump over this. You're talking about the Wake and Brave. Yeah, I think he might be more awakened after listening to David Phillips speak at length about urine therapy today, or whenever he did. Good man. What kind of fast did you do? Water or urine or what? That's Steve P. Oh, butternut squashes. Katesh, that reminds me of this really good story that I forget what his name is. He's a pretty popular black magician on the interwebs. I don't know, he's probably got like 20,000 subs. And I know he changed his name, so I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But he tells a story about the time that he was changing the way that he went about doing magic. Instead of going by the guidebook and all of the rules and obligations, and here you've got to put the circle down and do this, and you get in the zone and you meditate on it. And he started talking about a piece. He wanted to have fruit come into his life, a piece of fruit, and he's like, it just wouldn't happen. He didn't know what went wrong, and all of a sudden he forgot about his desire to have this magical incantation that he tried a new philosophy on trying to make the magic work. And then all of a sudden he was given a piece of fruit for free at a restaurant. So the woman just like brought over to the table some fruit and said, "Oh, I thought this was for this table," and left it there. He didn't recognize it. And then like a day later, somebody at work just came into the office and had some fruit. He didn't recognize it. And then a day later, his wife brought home a basket of fruit. And he goes, "Oh my goodness." And as soon as he remembered that like 2 weeks prior he did a spell to get him fruit, but what it took for him was to stop reconsidering the desire for the fruit. He received the fruit in like, just too much, to the point where he had a basket, and then the next day there was like, he went to his parents' house and they were having like a cookout and there was fruit everywhere, and just was this like overflow of fruit because of a new way that he did magic, but he didn't see it coming. So it's very interesting that you say that you have like a bunch of butternut squash that people gave you. Yeah, but the dancing for butternut, dancing about or for butternut squash. I mean, that's one level of, I didn't go too deep into this in any of my earlier works on making sigils, but a dance is a form of magic and it is a form of sigil. It's the same form of energy work to put something artistic out into the universe to, receive in the future. and you can whatever your art is, there's a way to receive because of the art. And if people use the word art and magic synonymously, they would have a new understanding for what creation is. And this is, I always try to just boil it down to like, well, thought is manifestation, and then what is the thought turn into? Maybe it's speaking, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's, I don't know, whatever it might be. Because people are rewarded. It's not even the reward. It's kind of the word, I guess. You're given something. The universe provides, or there's some sort of universal reciprocation for energy, and wherever it might be blocked or stored up somewhere. But the way to get that back is, as I always make the most. I'm very incessant about this idea, because if I do anything, it's to prepare people shamanistically for death. That it's that simple. And it's that when you die, you don't get a book bag, you don't get a pen and paper, you get your mind back. Because your mind is, as a metaphysician, creates this world and it creates everything. And you get your mind back completely because you don't have your body anymore. So now create that body, create your environment, create your stage, your eternity. So for me, saying teaching people to make sigils, that's great because I want you to have a good life. And if you need that little structure or that little cane or whatever to get you to the next level, that's fine. But always remember, at the end of the whole whatever this is going on here, and the beginning of it, and here now, the one thing that you have when you close your eyes, when you stop breathing, when you stop listening, you still have your mind that's still manifesting life. And that's the most important thing. Is as much as I we're trying to get into this stage for people, like, okay, you're always going to get into a physical environment. You're always going to have a vehicle, but your vehicle is always going to be controlled by your body. That's why I've always tried to maintain this philosophy and this teaching to people that the way that you can think about thinking, the way that you can absorb and observe, obtain, stew up knowledge, and put into a way to be an alchemist, to work in a kitchen, to do that with consciousness, to do that with information, you're always going to be doing that. That's what it is. That's what life is. Life is everlasting, just like that. Yeah, it's great that we can write sigils. It's great that we can dance. It's great that, and this is part of the having the vehicle to do these things. But if we have people just running around, which we have many people on this dimension right now, 85 to 90% of people are running around this dimension in physical bodies, being what you'd call a devil worshiper, meaning that all they see is the physical outpouring of all of reality, and they're never going to have their mind, because they do some mindless activity to receive the dollar amount, which is on a piece of paper, which is a dead thing, to go get the dead object, but have no involvement whatsoever in the energetic process of creating a universe. And that's most people. They're living in a dead world, literally. So it's getting people back to the living world. And the living world, it exists inside of the body, which becomes the mind, which broadcasts the mind outside of you that you walk around in. You're walking around inside of your mind, then collapsed inside of your body as you're holographically projecting out the reality through your mind. And that's going to happen infinitely. I mean, you might have a different body. You might jump into a dog's body. You might jump into a whole different planetary system where maybe there are circular objects flying through space. Maybe there are blocks flying through space. Maybe you're on the back of an elephant. Who knows? So all of that is to get people back to square one, which is this. It's not even a square. It's a circle. It's a bean. It's your mind. And then finding your mind, finding what the mind does. Awareness, breathing, looking around, observing, observing, put those two words together, and then going from there. And I think that's one of the major reasons that I've talked about fasting, and I'm going to do a larger series on fasting, different kinds of fasting. Closing your eyes, the darkroom fast, the cutting yourself off from certain, obviously eating is the biggest one. The biggest. If you can control, like in the Ayurvedic life, they talk about the 3 kinds of fastings, the 3 control mechanisms, and it's it's eating, sleeping, and I forget what the third one is. It's eating, sleeping, and something else. But again, these things are like things that we're ingesting. we're ingesting, and then we need to control the things we're ingesting, and then we have to concern ourselves with what we're observing, and that becomes we become this that double Taurus that everybody talks about. Because this is the thing, I always get into this with people. We're like, oh, these are really great symbols and pictures and ideas and diagrams, but what the fuck does it have to do with your life? How is that? Everybody's like, oh, click the light button, and here's the thing, and here's the diagram, here's all the colors, and then here's the octaves and all this shit. Well, what is that doing? It's doing nothing. But how to look at that in the sense of, okay, well, you're a vortex. Now we're taking in this information. Now how can we process that information and then spit that information back out? Because normally it's eat something that is a fruit coming in our mouth, and then we shit out something behind us. But what if we stop eating that thing and stop shitting things out behind us? Then all of a sudden, the looping mechanism becomes quite different. It becomes instead of regulated by your bowels, by your belly button, it starts to get upregulated. You upregulate your system from your bowels to your heart, to your throat chakra, and then up to your pineal gland, and then you can go play with the other games. But you're moving the point of the Taurus up to a higher consciousness, higher level, a higher place of being. If you look at air, you look at the densities, the rarefied air is up here. Everything that goes on up here, that becomes light and fluffy. It becomes more capable of, you can move through that. Get into really dense realms, you can't move. Think about the dream worlds. And everybody's had these dreams where you can't move around. That's when you're like heavy and dense. And this is kind of where we are now in a lot of ways what Earth is to people. But as we move that thing up and we start fasting, you start getting rid of the things that you're consuming. Then you can learn to model a universe for yourself. Yeah, Unstance. You said Unstance said the art is helping you communicate with your subconscious like a ritual. Yeah, the art in whatever form. A lot of people need more outpouring. I've done it. Like some people do it in different ways. You might go play a sport. You might do drawing. You might do dance. That's an outpouring of that thing, that whatever. This is how I communicate. This is how I be in the world. This is what I look like. Yeah, it's very ritualistic. As long as you observe it that way, it becomes a whole different process. It becomes spear ritual. Yeah. The spear ritual. Tiger strong. Yeah, damn. It's a test for yourself, I assume, huh? Yeah, Katesh, I like it. I mean, yeah, but feeling of gratitude. This goes back to like no one can understand how to feel anything if they don't feel. I've been around people that literally don't feel things. I've been at my point in my life at times where feeling is not an option because I've either felt too much, I'm depressed, or whatever. You don't just go, oh, be grateful for that. Like, oh, I get it. I mentally can go, oh, I'm appreciative of everything I have. I'm very grateful, but I don't feel it. You can't instill that into someone. That's like a very patriarchal thing. You better be grateful for this shit. Or motherly, like in any way you look at it, you can't make anyone feel anything. And in fact, most people in this society have been since day one regulated to not feel anything. Starting with the needle, starting with the cutting off of the foreskin because it was too sensitive. We're going through this whole system of let's cut off the ability for people to feel. You want to play Clockwork Orange? And watch the TV and see how it desensitizes people. Sensitivity, desensitizing. So to ask people to have a feeling towards something is absurd. It's an absurdity. It just will happen if it so happens to be. There's no way to instruct people on when all of that was taken from, when it was removed. you start getting injected with heavy metals. Now all of a sudden you're wearing your skin suit of Iron Man. You become an Iron Man. You have no feeling towards anything. You can't make Iron Man feel anything. That's what the Tin Man is. That's what the Iron Man is from the movies. That's what the whole system has done to everyone. And so you can't expect people to feel things and have gratitude. Yes, it's very helpful. It'd be nice if it can. How can we help you to be to feel gratitude. It's very easy to mentally, because people are mentally put into a position to say, this is how you must respond to these scenarios. This will get you this result. Here's the mathematics, here's the principles, here's the schooling systems. And there's not too many people that get outside of that. So this goes into all of the deprogramming work, that it's not about increasing sensitivity, it's about removing the things that get in the way of sensitivities. This is why the use of nootropics, drugs, alcohol, puppies, any kind of behavioral modifications that are organic and not driven by the inorganic substrates that are already delivered to us via, like, say, institutionalization and institutionalized products, which become then the people that work inside of these factory systems that try to figure out how the mind works when they don't even know how their own mind works, to find it, hey, well, your mind is in control of the feelings. No, it's not. So there's a very big system that's in place that tries to solve problems that they don't even know what the problem is, because they don't know the earth. They don't know what death is. They don't know what the earth is. They don't know what the demiurge is. They don't know what getting out of body is. So they don't know. They don't even know what reality is. They don't even know what their life is. So, yeah. Tiger Song, you said you always want to escape the test. I always wonder why it's like this. Yeah, I can't tell you. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of really fucked up shit in this reality. It seems to be like, if there was a computer program running this reality, if someone had fucked up the code. And if this is real, if this is actuality, if this is really going on and it's not all fucked up, something seems to have, like, because there's no way anyone would allow for the type of psychopathic behavior that is in control of all of the systems. Government, states, school systems, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies. That would never occur. I've said this 1,000 times. If you look at this from a very sober perspective of just observing it, you go, who the fuck could design something so absolutely inhumane? It's absolutely berserk. It's bizarre. It's obscene. It's filthy. It is the farthest thing from what a reasonable, rational, empathetic, caring human being would ever do, is create a system like the one that we're in. It would never occur. So something occurred somewhere, and this is why people believe in the devil in that way, that they go, the devil did this. The devil's, we're in the devil's playground. Everything's upside down and backwards. How did it get this way? Are we on the other side of the mirror? Where are we? What are we? Yeah. And these are far outside of the most people's pay grade. And when I say most people, we're talking 99% of people. You have people that spent lifetimes, well, at least their entire lifetime, trying to figure out that question of, like, why is reality as a holistic unit, as we can all say there's some objective reality. I'm using a phone to talk to you. You're on this is not, it's here. It's existing. We can look at this objective reality and say, there's some fucked up weird shit going on in reality. And that, like, when you become aware of it, you go, they're putting poison in my food? Remember when you first become aware? Does anybody remember this? The first day that they became aware of how absurd it is that we kill animals to eat the meat, that we don't need it? Do you remember that day that you became really intensely going, look at this piece of meat, it came from that cow, and look at what they're doing? Holy shit. Is this fucking for real? I've been eating this whole thing my whole life because I thought I needed protein. I thought I was the top of the food chain. Only to come to realize that this is absolutely fucking absurd. And then I start looking into the drugs and the pharmaceuticals, and I'm like, oh my god, these things are so fucking filthy. This is a poison institution. Then I look into all of the religions, and I'm like, holy shit, they're really mind controlling the fuck out of people and leeching energy off of them and making them subservient slaves. And then I start to look into the school systems, and I see what the school systems are doing to people. They're putting them underneath a spell to put them in line in a factory system via Henry Ford. And even before that, the school systems weren't there for anyone's benefit. And I go, what kind of architect, what kind of person would set up this really substantially abusive and dehumanizing system? And then we have people that have somehow gotten outside of it just a little bit. And to think that everybody else is just supposed to magically, this is the vegan thing that I always find so absurdly hilarious and offensive because, like, shit, I'm out here, I'm more vegan, motherfucking vegans are vegan. But I'm telling you, the vegans, the fact that they're putting themselves like, I'm more Christed than Christians. I'm more vegan than vegans. But because I go out here and say that you need to get rid of the vegan cult and the vegan label, just eat the plants and be helpful to people. But then I'm the enemy in a vegan's eyes. Guarantee that. Anybody knows that, but I'm like, and I've been insulted. Somebody just insulted me on one of my other videos where it was the master diet video that I did about literally eating fruits and vegetables and going through the processes of getting to drinking clean water and being a breatharian. And because in there one part of it, I said you should, if you're going to eat meat, you should be thankful for the animal's death, and you've released its karma, and you'd be thankful for it. And the person had the audacity to tell me that I should really sit down and think for a while about how stupid it is what I said was. And this is somebody that's a vegan that has the audacity to come to me that literally delivers bounties of free information, of gems for people. And this is the world we live in. Even the people that think they're doing something right are literally shitting all over reality. I have vegans that come up in my little space here, my little space on the internet. I've got this little block over here in the corner. They want to walk up in here and tell me I'm being an asshole. I'm much more than that. I'm a much bigger asshole than you know. But yeah, there's this so it's that Matrix thing. It always comes back to that Neo trying to pull these people out of the Matrix, but they're so helplessly, they're so helplessly dependent upon the system that they don't know what to do about it. They can't even manage to go through the thought process, because I've had this conversation with friends of mine that I get to the point of saying, the earth is flat, but you could never speak it. You could never say it. These certain things to be 99% true, and you feel them, but you'd be ostracized in your job and society, and you'd have to give up your lifestyle the way it is. You'd give up friends, you'd give up family, you'd give up all sorts of things to actually speak your belief system. And that's where everybody is. Most people won't even get to that point, because that's a leap to get to the point of going, okay, it's fucking pretty certain this shit is a realm, and it's flat as fuck, and we out here, this is not a ball spinning through space. Okay, we still battling the fact that, like, eating animals is a dumb idea. Like, we still got to battle people on this. We got to battle people on, like, we're supposed to get shots when we get vaccines. You know how dumb this shit is. You know how dumb vaccines are. You know how dumb it is to take these pharmaceutical pills. Like, we got to fight this every day. And it's so getting to these other, if there are levels, if there are next incarnations within your life, whatever it might be, within this one life, you maybe live 20 incarnations. Like, oh, you've killed off pieces of yourself. To get to those places, you have to give up a lot. Some of it is like things that aren't serving you. Other things are just convenient. It's convenient to believe what everybody else believes. You make a lot of friends that way. You make a lot of friends believing and circle jerking people. That's the easiest way. You just get in a circle jerk all day. You just be tugging this guy, tug this guy, a little bit of, you can win at life, I guess. But that's what people do out here. This is what society is. It's a giant, like, I don't know, this goes into a deeper thing of how many people, this has to go in the conspiracy theory movement things and the flat earth thing and well, is everybody in on it? Is everybody like, no, there's just people going along with the people that are in charge, paying the bills. They're like, I'm making $100,000 a year. They already said the shit's already circular flying around. They already did the test in the laboratory. You think 10,000 people are lying in laboratories? No, I think that one person paying a lot of money for those people to just throw the studies away that said that's going to kill everyone. And they found one study where it looks like it doesn't kill all the mice, right? Here, it's gonna solve. Here's a little white pill. It's gonna solve your problems. And so, yeah, I don't know where else is it going with that, other than to say that this manufactured society and getting outside of the realm of uh, awareness and consciousness of accepting the bullshit. You know, that's one of the first things, is not accepting the bullshit, and then what to do with it. Instance, yeah, genuine care, compassion, and gratitude align you with your higher self and more. You know, I don't know what my higher self is, because I would assume most of the time I am part of that. I don't dismiss myself from not being the highest form of what I am, no matter what anybody's opinion of my actions, behaviors, and things are. And the dilemma is just what I talked about. Is I don't know how many people can develop genuine care. It's really to develop that, because it was pulled away from people. You come out the womb having that, but then you're given every reason not to be genuinely caring, genuinely compassionate. And you have people that have a lot of money that think poor people are pieces of shit. They think that. They believe that. They walk by people and scoff. And like, ugh, ugh. And that's really how they feel, because they've been enabled to have emotional codexes. I like to use that, emotional codexes, that bring them to a point that in that moment they feel like the person that is on the side of the street is a piece of shit, is a bum, that because they don't have the life that they have is not worth living, that is a bad person or something. And so, like, I can get that, you can get that, but you walk through any major city, find me these people with genuine compassion, caring, and gratitude. Find me these people. I'd like to see them. I don't meet them too often, and I'd assume most of the people in here probably have a good portion of that most of the time, if not all the time. But yeah, it's a small community of people, is it not? And it's even hard to be, even if you're fully aware and aligned with your higher self. I don't even like to use that kind of language anymore, because it seems like it's this thing I saw today. I saw Ralph Smart post this. This is something he posts twice a week. Type yes if you believe something great is going to happen to you in the future. And I'm just like, fuck that. What do you mean something great's going to happen in the future? Why does everybody keep waiting for the future to happen? First of all, you should be here present now, and we shouldn't even be paying attention to anything else other than, like, let's energetically function in this moment. But then to think that I have to type yes so I can re-encourage some sort of behavioral mechanism on a keyboard to believe in the future, that something, oh, just be patient, it's coming. This is the Alan Watts bit about, like, the carrot and the stick. Here we go, here, it's coming. And all of a sudden, you go through, high school, college, onto your job, you got your PhD, you're making all the money. It's coming. Where? Where is this thing? Where's this great thing that's going to happen? I've poured my life into learning and understanding and participating with myself, with society, with being a better person, whoever that might be. Where is this lofty goal that we all want to obtain? It's not even obtain, but, like, participate in and relish in together, when all we see around us is people literally, if you do anything to, like, put a little something in the spokes of the wheel, the cog of the giant corporate dead world conglomerate, people are fucking pissed and they want to kill you. They'll hurt you. People will hurt you if you try to stop this system from functioning. So where is this? So maybe I have too lofty of goals. Maybe I should just want to. But my little goals are always met. I'm good. I'm good. I don't care how the air is. I breathe. I make the air clean. My water, I drink my piss. I'm good. I'm fed. I'm cozy. I'm in a warm climate. Shit's fine for me, right? So I got these loftier goals. And loftier goals is like, okay, how long I gotta wait for it? Because it's not even for me. Like, I want things to be better for everybody else. That way it's better for me too. If I have a better life, that doesn't make your life better. But if the world is better, my life's better. It's simple. My life is better doesn't make anyone else's better. So my teaching is irrelevant for me. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do no good for me if I walk through the streets and, knowing what I know, if other people are pieces of shit, I still have to step in pieces of shit. Just because I'm a good person doesn't make anyone else a good person, right? But if everybody else is a good person, I ain't got nothing to worry about. See? Simple. Here, free knowledge. Have it. make the world a better place. But if you tell someone that their system is actually poisoning people, it's not even public enemy number one. You're like private corporate entity number one. You know what I mean? Like it's and the fact that people are just they don't even see it. They can't see it. I always go back to this thing that people deliver, that they always want this happy, lovey, light bullshit. And like, yeah, like let's be tribal in our dance party, and let's go and have these little outings and be cool with each other, and like, yeah, but is that going to save your children? Is it making your children's lives easier? And if you believe in reincarnation, your next life going to be easier when we have these fucking shitty ass dead entities that nobody can understand? It's a dead entity and they won't do anything about it. These Monsanto pricks, see? But then I go, oh, that Monsanto is a dead entity. It's just a name on a piece of paper and it's nothing. But there's all these people that support it. And they'll fight for it. They'll fight for the dead. They'll fight for the dead world. How do you enlighten people to this simple thing? Because we've been out here doing this for years. It's all laid out. Like 2012 was the year. It was all revealed. I even did a video on this, the great revealing. It's all out there. The demons are up here. The angels are down here. It's all collapsed right here in this realm. It's all, everybody sees it. Okay, what now? How do we make this better? How do we clean up the fucking mess that's been made by the last generations? By your father, your mother, your grandparents, my parents, my grandparents, all of these people. Just shitting down the tubes, sliding down that giant triangle, the sides of the triangle, the one shitting down, and just we're down here like, oh fuck, what do we do with all these turds? You know? Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, is that Chrono? Get on those enemas. Get yourself with the big blue bag. It's like 20 bucks on. I'm back here at like 6 hours and where was I? At 6:36 p.m. Get yourself that big blue bag that's on Amazon. Maybe you could find yourself a Black Friday deal. And it's got a really big opening, so that way when in the future you decide to start doing oil basties, that you'll be able to put your hand in there and clean it out. And that's the best bag to get. Yeah, Katesh, I really, you must be a whole nother being, because this belief in judgment separation is the cause of density. So how do you have a body? How do you exist here? You say you're outside of time, but you have this body and you have these children, and do you feed these children food? How's your family life? I really, like, we always go back to this, and this is why, like, I can't, it frustrates me to no end that you keep going back to this judgment separation thing that makes no sense. I've covered this countless times, because this judgment isn't observation. Observation doesn't qualify judgment. If I put you inside of a bucket of water, if I put your face inside of a bucket of water for 30 minutes, you're dead. You can just go, oh, I'm judging this water to not be water. No, you're dead. You don't just go, because you don't judge it to be water doesn't mean it's not water. I throw you in a flaming pit. It's still fire. You're still dead. You don't see. This is the thing. You fail to, like. Maybe I'm just not as smart and as wise as you are, but this is always the thing that really, it just frustrates the fuck out of me every time you come on here. We're having, and you just come back to this judgment thing that I've covered with you many times. And you just got to throw that in there, and it's silly to me. It's silly. You gonna tell me density isn't density? Well, okay, we'll move on from there though. I mean, it just. Every day feels like the same because it is. All time is now. Tire Strong. Yes, that's been Zet Chrono, that's been a big topic. Um, Somebody I knew said they were gonna off themselves, and somebody had a daughter that was in a well, she was adopted. There was two of them that were adopted, and just recently tried to kill herself. I don't know the whole story or whatever, but she had she came from like a crackhead parental household, and yeah, just suicide. Like, get out of this fucking crazy mixed up world. This dog eat dog world. This bowel world, whatever it is. I mean, shouldn't you? I think everybody on here should, right? Go and do it off yourself, right? Then you have to explain like, no, we mean parts of yourself. Little pieces and bits. I'm not an artist. I'm a engineer. I'm not an engineer. I'm a school teacher. I'm not a school teacher. I train dogs how to, you could be anything, right? These are just aspects of reality, but back to density, back to reality, back to what's around us right here. This room is always going, you're going to watch this on film, and it's always going to be, there's going to be those books over there, there's a TV screen here, and there's that, you don't get to just go, no, the density is, I have skin here, it's denser than, it's not me going, I seem to have a problem with judgment of my body and judgment of everything in this room, so it is such. Yeah, I mean, yeah, out of body, we can play those games all day. That's what being in those other realms is. But here on Earth, you're dealing with time, and time is density. Density is observation, and without the ability to use time and density together, you don't get a situation. You don't get a life. You don't get you don't get physical existence. That's always the thing. And so, yeah. Reza, what is my take of food is homosexual? Reza, I'm not quite understanding. Food is homosexual? Your mouth is the top of your asshole? Yeah, it is the top of your asshole, but what does that have to do with homosexuality? I don't know. That would do with asexuality, not homosexuality. And I don't know what you mean. So, because you're sticking something in your mouth to eat it and consume it, and it comes through your entire system and out the other end. Homosexuality, you put a sexual or other organ in something and pull it out. It would be like eating food and then vomiting it. So I don't know what you're trying to ask there. Reza, that's cool. The the mushrooms from blood plasma. That was what David Phillips was just talking about. Separation and scarcity. That's a whole nother. Yeah, we would do that another time. What's up, Torin? Scarcity leads to insanity. No, I don't think so. Insanity's insanity doesn't have to do with scarcity. People's insanity deals with the overarching complex of patriarchal societies that deem certain regulations and ideas into the minds of the youth. First poison them through all of the heavy metals and the salts, and then poisoning them through the indoctrination systems. So we always get back to that. And there's no like that's the form of insanity. That's not scarcity. Scarcity caused maybe some fear in people's minds, but not insanity. Fear of like not having enough, but that's not insane. That's just like that's a normal child going, oh, am I not gonna be able to eat tomorrow because mommy doesn't have enough? Like in that sense, in that scarcity sense. But that's not insane. That's just a little bit of fear in the mind. But insanity is the culture we're living in. Insanity is turning on the TV. Insanity is walking down the street and seeing all the blinking lights. Insanity is people sleeping in the streets. Insanity is living um, in a suburban neighborhood with white walls, electrical wires running through the walls, and then telling your children to go to school and thinking that's normal. That's insane. To me, insanity is to send your children to a school. That's insane. It's insane to like really feel like this is a home and not just a domicile to keep water off of you and to have a, decent night's sleep once in a while. So insanity is actually where people are living. Insanity is all of the shit that's going on. The people that look insane are the most sane people. They're the ones that are observing it as is truth. You can only people that go on this love and light shit or even in another direction. Here's the thing that I read the other day, and this will hopefully I think this will make sense. The pessimist is always looking down, and so will bump his head, and the optimist is always looking up, but will trip on something. But the realist will look ahead and be able to navigate its path. And a lot of things in the spiritual community, people come through here with the most stupid, absurd bullshit, where they're talking in an optimistic way, which is fine. Because I always talk about magic. We're talking about put good places in your mind. And let's get there. Optimism is a good thing in the mind, but not in saying, oh no, everything is peaches and cream out here, because it fucking ain't. We're living in an insane asylum. We're living in an insane world where people are cutting down trees, poisoning your children, poisoning your families, poisoning your minds, and then have people that are kind of like on the fringes that think they're being helpful, but are actually more involved with status-type behavior, status-type ideas that are only reinforcing the enigma of being beneath the mindset of what the statist-run institutional concepts are. And all of this is to say that here's how life is, and all you need to do is just be like, oh, these fake spiritual teachers say, oh, well, that's all going out there. Everything is peaches and cream here. No, that doesn't make you anything but you deal with illusion. Everybody else, oh, the world's just an illusion. Nothing really matters. So no, people that aren't just going, no, the reality is you live inside of a house. The reality is that this shit is poisonous in here. The reality is the air is fucked up. The reality is, but if you don't deal with reality day one here, that we live in a dense world which deals with people that have religious notions, status notions, density notions, objectification notions, we live inside of that. Ain't nobody doing shit about that. So until you deal with that absolute, this reality, there's nothing you can do with it. That's realism. Well, obviously, I go the water's dirty. That's not a pessimistic thing. That's a realist thing. You know what I do as a realist? I go and get myself a distiller. That's what a realist does. That's not positive or negative. That's a solution to a problem that really exists. Somebody else goes, no, I just believe the water not to be dirty. I'm going to take a turd. I'm going to put it in your glass of water. And you're going to drink it and tell me it's not dirty. Okay. I'm going to give you a glass of LSD and let you drink it. And you're just going to know that wasn't LSD. Right. Okay. This is the insanity of most people within these spiritual communities, that they don't deal with realism. They're like, they want to follow their guru, their guide, and because they sat there in meditation doing the fucking thing that they're doing. Hey, if they made the world so much better, why didn't they fix everything for me? Why didn't they fix everything for you guys? Why didn't they fix everything for the guy that I'm looking at down the street? Because it's not realist. Because you deal with people. The whole world has been illusioned. Everything has been put in as tarps over your consciousness, over your mind, over both of your eyes and your third eye. Over your third eye, which is projection towards the future. Because the first tarp that was put over your eyes doesn't allow you to see things as they are now. The only way you can make advancements towards the future is to see what's in front of you right now. You have to be a realist. You can't just go, no, things are just, just you can't judge anything. It doesn't work that way. If it worked that way, I'd have solved this fucking problem 18 years ago, because I was wide open on that. Don't judge anything. I was wide open on that. Didn't get me anywhere. Got me to the point of realizing I should start like, what's going on here? What's going on in this reality? If I would have sat in that consciousness of, oh no, that's everything's just as it is, and I would have never looked into the Earth being flat. I would have never looked into doing anything but eating hamburgers. I'd be in here baking double cheeseburgers. It's my reality. I ain't got no qualms. I got no quibbles with it. Hmm. But as usual, what do I know? Tiger Strong, a black person is ruling the world. I don't know anything about that. I've never met a black person. Black people don't exist and white people don't exist. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. Zach Chrono, I hear you, man. I don't have a lot of really good answers other than to craft yourself some magic. Start your own business. What kind of money do you want to make? How much do you want to make? Is there a product you can use that you believe in that you can service people with? There's could you move somewhere that would be better for fit for you? These are all just like these are coming off of this base of let's deal with reality in front of us and then go from there, steps towards something, or just well, you better have a very strong conviction and belief in the magical realm, which is true, but unless you're very strongly committed to your faith in an idea, then it's not going to come true. If you go ahead and write that sigil out and say I fucking believe in that, it'll happen. But if you don't play with magic because then you won't get it. And that's the biggest thing that people that don't believe in magic, they don't believe in magic, therefore they don't believe in themselves, therefore they don't believe in metaphysics, therefore they don't believe in the concept of their mind creating the thing. So if you don't believe in it, that's shutting off the capacity for it to happen. This is plenty of the reason that there's some things that I don't do with magic because I don't know if I want the extra responsibilities that come with having, Zen, why don't you have $20 billion? I don't want all the extra responsibility. That's a lot of responsibility. I don't want that. I really don't. Why? And there's things that come along with that you have to really, they always talk about lottery, people that won the lottery that like they go broke or they fucking waste their money or like their life is worth after. It's like, there's certain things you just don't do. But if there's just little things that you want to get to the next stage in life that you believe in, that you can really put faith into, then write yourself out a grimoire. Do whatever you need to do, but you can do it through the physical realm, meaning walk down the street, fill out an application, because that application is a sigil. Do you believe you're going to get that job? Fill out that application. You want to start your own business? Fill out the paperwork for that business. It's the same thing, right? Which one do you believe in more? What do you need? What do you want? What are you willing to invest your mind and energy into? Oh man, I just had Popeyes the other day. Shit is fucking nasty. Resonance Creative, please do, man. You feel free. I'm back at 6:53, so I'm a little behind here. Hey, Unstance, if you got that problem, man, 90% of people, it doesn't happen in New Orleans. You'd be 95% of people will interact with you. In fact, they might even slow your day down and start having a conversation with you. It don't happen down here. It happens in other places, and it fucking sucks. That's why I came here. Yeah, Sun Soul, you said some people get angry when they see genuinely compassion. Yeah, I understand, man. Like getting into those places where you're being yourself and you're genuinely concerned about something, it makes people uncomfortable. I've made people uncomfortable by being helpful, and so that there's always that like you've got to kind of juggle this. It's like when is being helpful not being helpful? There's always that dilemma, like because some people don't want it. It's not that they don't want it, it's they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to receive it. This goes into the conversation that I've had with a lot of people about giving and receiving. And speaking of giving and receiving, I need to give this phone a battery charge. So I'm going to go get my charger and plug myself in so I can continue this for you guys. So give me 1 second. Okay, fucking radical. Okay, cool. What was I here? Yeah, I was finishing up that with Sun Soul about yeah, it's not even that I care about other people's reactions to me, and I don't think most people should care about that, but it is a sense of like, giving something to somebody when they don't want to. It's giving somebody this is like very Larry David-esque, the Curb Your Enthusiasm. If anybody's watched that, how Larry David is so funny. And in fact, the last show I was watching was about him tipping someone, they wouldn't receive the tip, and there was this kind of reciprocation thing that was going on about who was in whose debt. And that's a real big thing that people have conscious inability to receive from the universe. And a lot of people can't do magic. This is even getting away from this into like the higher things I talk about. People can't do magic because they don't know how to receive. I have a best friend that has to believe she has to work for everything. Like energy, gotta be grinding, thinking, and doing things to receive something. So if she's not doing that, she doesn't believe she should receive anything. As if like she wasn't already worth it or worthy of the universe to provide her with. Already she got the life, and now here, take whatever, but she can't get to that point of receiving. And a lot of people have that problem. This goes back into, if we go deeper into the shit about a training. It's always about no, shit is wrong. You might get a gold star, but what did you have to do? What do you have to do to get that gold star? When do you want that pat on the back? When can anybody be physically like, here, have a little pat on the back, here's the gold star, here's the thing, good job. You have to do a good job to get that. It's not that you desired it, required it, needed it. Kids coming to school without socks on. Kids coming to school not eating. But work hard, we'll give you the gold star. See, you're training from a youth. What do you say? The Utes. Anybody remember that movie? That's taking you back a little bit. The Utes. Yeah, instance. I'll go a little farther. Yeah, the dumbfoundedness. I mean, this is really just what I was saying here about people's capacity to believe someone could be that. It's like this. When you work in the corporate world, people are phony because they know that if I act this way, I'll get this response. If I say this, I'll get this. If I do this, they'll give me something. And so reciprocation is a fundamental priority to keep the business world running. Oh, that's very professional. Professionalism gets you this. Here's the book. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Here, you do this and you'll get this outcome. Right? So this is already instilled into people to be phony. So if you're actually being genuinely kind, genuinely like, hey, can I help you? People go, what the fuck? You want to help me? This is my favorite one of my favorite Savan quotes. It's like, if you walked up to somebody with a backpack with diamonds in it, you walked up to somebody with like a briefcase full of money. I've done this plenty of times in my life. I walk up to people every day with a briefcase full of money, with a backpack full of diamonds, with gems everywhere I go. And I start handing them people like, what the fuck? They either say, that can't be true, I don't want it, where'd you get that from? Just like that. It's just like, what? Why are you coming at me with all this knowledge? Why you get, what? What is that going to do? What, huh? So people don't want it. People don't know how to, Hey, I would just like to deliver this to you. This is the good word of God, you know, to deliver you the good word. Because what happens? Somebody knocks on the door, and they're Jehovah's Witnesses. They want to deliver the good word, right? And you know it's dog shit. You get these other people like always trying to. So it's just it's in all forms of culture where the phoniness mimics authenticity. And so when people are authentically heartfelt and driven by the things that are empathy, people don't know what to do with it because they're like, I've never felt that before. That actually, I could feel something in my body. It's like doing Reiki on someone from a distance, and they go, you can see them in the room. They look around like, what the fuck? Did I just feel something? I did Reiki on that person. They didn't even know it. But then they go, what am I supposed to do with that feeling? Because any other time somebody says those words, the response is, if I say these words, you'll do this. And so yeah, there's a really interesting bridge to be gapped between saying the words and really meaning them. Like you tell a kid, here, I'll give you another example, and this is another interesting one. You tell a kid to say, kid does something wrong, you say, go say you're sorry. The kid does something at a party that you don't like, right? Go say you're sorry. Oh, why? Why should the kid go apologize? Why did the kid do that? Maybe the adult was being an asshole. Maybe the other kid was being an asshole. Why apologize, right? Why does everybody need to apologize for anything? I always say, don't ever please and don't ever apologize for anything in life. I will thank you a billion times over, but to say please, I will not plead for anything. No way. Please is a fucked up word. Don't use please. Always be thankful. Be thankful and be grateful. Goes back to the earlier thing. You can, but this comes into like the childhood. The no, say everything is no, and then the next training is, but be polite, be nice, say please, say thank you. But why? But why? Why is that so? You watch a movie. Why is it always so instilled? If it's so instilled, there must be something culturalized and a little bit bullshit about it. And I'm very suspect of those kind of words, especially knowing language as well as I think I might possibly know a little bit about it. Well, that's good, Sun Soul. Yeah, living for others. Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go a little farther there for you. That is the biggest thing. This is why recently because I come in contact with so many people that because we're so empathetic and want to help people, that we find ourselves like in submission to other people's requirements, even though those people are just succubuses and leeches and fakers and phonies and bullshit, as I was just talking about. That there are a lot of people that are healers and empaths, and people get sponged to you. You walk and people just, and all of a sudden you're like fucking just sucking the energy out of you, and you're like, well, I'm supposed to be helping these people, right? But all of a sudden I've had money in my pocket, whether physically had money in my pocket or like energy in me, that I'll go and do something, and all of a sudden like, man, where did all that go? Did everybody I came across was happy to help? They just kept taking and taking. I was like, oh fuck, did I just lose all of my energy? And sometimes, because it's so like, for me, it's like, oh, I'll just get some more tomorrow. Easy for me, but they don't know how to do it. It's like that teach a man to fish kind of thing. So that's why I kind of make these videos, because like, this way there's a little bit of a barrier between what people want from me, because I can be like, fuck you. I ain't got time for this shit. So yeah, and to get into my last few videos that I've made about just telling people like, you need to find this absurd amount of self, like, this shit is me, this is my life, fuck you, anybody, anytime, like, get yourself together, put yourself in the right order. That's more important than anything. You get yourself to 50, 60 years old and realize you didn't even have a life. You can't remember anything. And people tell you this all the time. Oh, the Dalai Lama said if you live for everyone else, you won't even be worried about your own problems. Yeah, but then all of a sudden you're 60, you wake up and you fucking realize like, oh shit, here's all of these fucking problems. that were easily solvable if you would have taken one moment to put your own energy system together. And so a lot of people need to focus on that. They need to get in touch with whatever their selves is. You know, is it inside of you? Is it your relationship to things? Is it? And most people don't know that because they're too busy using their eyes to go, oh, that's what needs help. That's what needs help. That's how can I assist that? Because everyone we're born to see outside of us and help each other, but now we live inside of a system. Here's the trick. Now we live inside of a system that is psychopathic, that is insane, that leeches off of people's like humanness to want to help. Everybody wants to help, and then there's like three people just standing there at the fucking lording over all of us. The Pope, the Black Pope, the fucking the people standing there with the headgear on and doing all the shit, and they're standing there just going, and we're just like, yes, well, we want to help you, and they go, oh, they're dumb, and like, no, we're not dumb. We just thought that you wanted help, and now all of a sudden, like, all these systems in place to make sure we subdue the consciousness of the people. Don't let them know where they live. Don't let them know who they are. Tiger Strong, yeah. GMO food porn work is succubusing people, yeah. Critical depth. Dead bugs in your distilled water used for enemas. Zach Chrono, what do I think of Marcus Rothkranz? He did an interview with Don Tolman I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, I don't really think much of the dude. I never met him. I just know that he used to be fat and he got skinny. He dresses a little funny for me. I don't know. Seems like a cool guy or whatever. Like, I don't know. I probably... would he be one of my teachers? No. I mean, would I hang out with him? Probably not. I don't really... he seems like a delightful human being for the people that like him. I don't have nothing wrong with the guy. I don't know too much about him. He seemed, you know what? I'll put him in the David Wolf category. Like I know the David Wolf kind of people. They're helpful to a degree, but they're still kind of part of the system. I think they're still part of the system because they don't have the keys to themselves. They don't know how to give you the keys, the actual true ones, the proper ones. A Grendel fly, I don't know what that is, critical depth. Tiger, what's worse? School or 9 to 5? School by far. Because it trains you to go to the 9 to 5. School is the system. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're speaking of all of the state-run institutions. I mean, 9 to 5 could be fine. You could find something within that 9 to 5 that pleases you, that is helpful to society, to putting a paycheck together for you, to doing something helpful and creative. It's not necessarily bad. What up, AT? Well, thank you, man. I haven't had much to say in a while, so I figured I'd get crazy on it today for a minute. Zach Chrono, that's funny. I know I'm reading Zach Chrono's thing after that. 9 to 5 school was fun. Like friends, watching movies, field trips. Yeah, those were all indoctrinating principles of hanging out with motherfuckers you don't like and don't need to want to like. At least you could choose your job. You couldn't choose your school. You were too young to have any choice in the matter. So the indoctrination of an entire state of consciousness for generations and populations, school is a much bigger evil. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. Most 9 to 5 suck, but hopefully people that are a little bit aware of what's going on in the world are creating if there are solutions to some of the micro problems, some of the more macro problems. Yeah, yeah. School is what you make it. I mean, yeah, that'd be nice to if you could help a kid to realize going to school. You just got to answer all the questions right, but know that it's all false. If you could really train a child at 6, 7 years old to realize that the entire school institution is a fucking joke. Yeah, that's a tough one. I know that'd be really hard to do. Yeah, there you go. Where am I at here? Like 707. Let's see. Fake teachers pushing the doctrine of passivity and ignorance of dark further than rift. Yeah, that's it. That's the biggest thing. It's the not the let's not accept where we are and just go no 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 no. Everything's just it's cool over here, guys. I got my own little garden. I'm not saying not to have your own little garden. I'm not saying not to be in these clubs and communities and have these kind of behaviors and things, but to just like out here act like the real shit ain't going on in the bigger world with your brothers and sisters that you swear you care so much about, but you love your dreads too much. fuck you and your dreads, white boy. Like that ain't even your hairstyle. That's because you're a scummy fuck. Like white dudes shouldn't have dreads. If you do, maybe somehow it happened. It's because you're being lazy, and because you're being inauthentic to your being. Because you should be running a comb through your hair, taking a bath in the waters of Gaia. You out here living on the farm with the cockroaches living in your hair, saying all's love and light. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, Steve P. You bought somebody a water distiller and they won't use it. That's funny. Yeah. Well, you can always just hope they'll listen to some Andrew Norton Webber. That's for me that's the biggest source of information for distilled water. Resi is always already tasting like coconut. That's wicked, man. Steve P. I don't know about reverse osmosis taking out fluoride. I don't think so though. Yeah, it is second best to reverse osmosis is second best to distilled. Distilled is the only way to go. What you talk about, Tiger Strong? That I have a globe in my house. Oh yeah, my globe over there in the corner. You never seen that before? First of all, this ain't my house, and second of all, I done a video about that globe. I got that. I just a quick little one. I got that globe. Like honestly, I think it was a month before I started really researching flat Earth because I thought the orange was pretty fucking slick. And then after I did my research on the flat Earth, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, apparently I had this big flat Earth poster with that beneath it. So when people would come over, they would be very like awestruck by the contrast between that globe and the azimuthal equidistant. Is that how you say it? Azimuthal equidistant? I never said that word before. It just popped in my head. That map. Not that I think that's the most accurate one, because they're who knows at this point. But nonetheless, that was a nice contrast, and that just happened to make its way to a friend of mine's house. I don't know where the flat Earth map went though. Very funny to me. Oh, critical depth. You got those shapeshifter cards. Wicked. Yeah, I see the Native American at the shop that I go to. I haven't got those yet, but they were on my they're on my list. I have three sets of cards that I want. One is that Native American one. One is the one is the what is his name? The evilest man on earth. His deck. And then the other one was the Dolly, not the Dolly, Dolly, the artist. So he has a really cool deck. And funny enough, the one of the girls that worked there said she has that deck, and she goes, I don't know why it's only $20 here. The one that I got was like 150, but hers has 24 karat gold around the outside of it, so it's pretty slick. Yeah. Sticky Icky, what's up? Are the powers that be evil? I'm back at 717. I'm gonna say Sticky Icky. The second part of you said, are the powers that be evil, or is the sacred knowledge just not for everybody, and they want us to think they're evil? Yes, I'd say that's correct. I just don't know how to fold into, and I still haven't figured out where the bullshit came from, and where the pharmaceutical companies and places like NASA, how those exist, because they're part of these obviously secret societies, but there are levels of knowledge that are like, you know, lying to everyone and saying we live in a ball when we fucking don't is fucked up. And lying to everyone and giving them white poisonous pills. But then if I go, okay, wait. Is it that bad that maybe people thought we lived in a ball and we don't? Maybe these white pills aren't really killing anyone, because if I do believe in metaphysics of the universe, and I do believe in the idea of the nocebo and the placebo effect, then what does it matter? Maybe these pills are all empty anyways. Maybe the highest knowledge is that this whole system here on this earth is just teaching us all to use our mind properly. But that's not to say that I haven't been in contact with things that I would consider awful. You know, doctors and things that are just like really doing some fucked up shit to reality. And so I go, I always have to, as I'm stirring this pot of like, okay, I'm throwing this mess in here. How are these institutions getting away with this? How are these doctors doing this? How are these schools doing this? How are these, you know, that's I always have to fold that into the mix and try to figure out, how is that okay? How do I qualify that as saying? But I do know that there's a lot of knowledge, like you don't throw pearls to swine. That's obvious. I've thrown pearls to swine, and I watched all of my information, my money, my energy just get fucking ravished. And go, oh, what a waste that was for me. But then I look at all of these things that are like, yeah, they're literally out here fucking poisoning motherfuckers. They're literally hurting people, like injuring, injury. You know, that's where it comes from. To injury is injury. It's like basketball courts. Yeah, court, jury, get it? See? Jurisdiction. Yeah, all of these words. Anyways, so I don't know, man. But I would say Sticky Icky. I think it goes into that major thing is like, you put a fucking the boys club, you put the skull and bones on the door so nobody wants to come in. But yet there are some things that are fucked up going on. Everybody goes, oh, the Illuminati are doing it. Oh no, the fucking Freemasons are doing it. Like, no. Were they holding good knowledge and maybe somebody took it and did bad with it? Yeah. So you can't just boil it all down to one thing. It doesn't work that way. I can say these institutions are just awful and evil. You can't really do that. I mean, you can kind of say like schooling systems are fucked up. You can kind of say like, okay, the medical pharmaceutical institutions are fucked up. They started off with good intentions, but then somebody like, it was already going right. And they realized like, oh shit, we're really fucking up here, and it was already too late, right? So that's a really tough one, man. I the highest order of the universe is, it's your mind anyways, and can I just go, oh no, everything's beautiful, everything's wonderful. Wake up tomorrow and there's roses growing everywhere. And I'm way behind. Apparently, I'm at 720, where Zach Cronin was talking about distance Reiki. Sun Soul, yeah. School, school was a funny place for me. The few times that I went, high school and college, and funny enough, and now I'm a teacher from an underground, invisible college. How very funny. Thank you, Unstance. Yeah, Aleister Crowley is what I was getting to earlier. Yeah, Aleister Crowley, man. No, that's somebody that put a fucking put the skull and bones in the door to keep you away from the knowledge, and then say something as crazy as the evilest man in the world. Man, all I've read from that dude has been immensely positive and beneficial. I haven't found anybody that has ever studied anything that he's put out that has anything bad to say. The only people who have anything stupid to say about that dude, or they can never talk about any of his work because they don't know his work. If they looked at his work, they couldn't say anything bad about it because you'd find out really quickly. Very good. Shit. Apparently, look at the law. Look at the law. Look at the law of Thelma. Like, what is it about? You know. And then they even take this statement that the law of Thelma is, and then they cut it down. They cut off the part about love. They take out the they take the love part out, and they just take the first sentence and then they leave out the rest of it. And see, this is the bullshit that people go, oh, that's what it said. Oh fuck. They take the headline right off the newspaper and they go, well, that's what it's about. And everybody's got their own fucking jackassed, fucked up opinion about everything. What up, Rising Left? Yeah, I'm way far behind still. Let's see, I'm at like 740 right now. I'm gonna try to catch up here. Oh shit, I'm caught up. Zach Cronin, you mostly had acquaintance, then you had real genuine friends. Man, I've been losing friends or losing people that aren't actually your friends. I deal with that all the time. That's why I have one friend right now. Do you want to meet him? Do you want to meet my friend? It's right here. He's one of the dogs. Few little, like, she cuddles up with all these little Where's the other ones? Are there any more in here? No. Little stuffed animals. The dog finds her way in between the stuffed animals. I don't know. I don't know what that thing's name is. I have a monkey named Adolf. I don't have a monkey named Adolf. The dog has a monkey named Adolf. It's been I thought it was quite ironic. And you could read into that any way you want about Hitler and monkeys, and you can make them you can dig me a grave there with humor right there if you want. So yeah, an hour and a half in here. We'll see how much juice I got left. I think I'm almost out of juice. So as always, I'll continue a little bit more here. In the interim, y'all lazy. Y'all lazy. Honestly, though, really, all it takes is just like you gotta hit one button. You just hit the thumbs up thing. I don't know why it's so hard for you. I ain't trained you guys yet. I mean, how difficult really is it just to go? Oh, thanks, Zen. I even asked you to send me no cash. I asked you to send, not even yet, just a thumbs up. That's all. That's all I need. Thank you, one person that did it. 22 people in this room. There's been at least 50 people here. I got 10 likes. That's bullshit. That's bullshit on all y'all. Thanks, Unstance. I know you do, Unstance. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see who are the other 10 slackers in here that can't even give me critical acclaim for these awesome downloads. There we go. Yeah. Do it. Do it. I used to work in a carnival. I used to be a car salesman. I could play all those games and do it now. There it is. Look at that. Almost as many. You know what? And in fact, I like thumbs down as much as I like thumbs up. At least you think something. At least have a goddamn opinion. Jordan, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate that. And thank you. And I don't want to hear anything about it. This was way back in the day, man. Instance, I was like, this is like 20 years ago, and I hated it because I was good at it, but I quit because I didn't like. I sold in the first week that I sold cars. I sold I don't know, 5 cars. I sold a couple, 2 cars, and then I got invited to dinner at someone's house. I got invited to someone's violin concerto. I got invited out from people that I was selling cars to, making a killing on. But I wasn't like, but I was like, damn, these people are paying more than they should. But I was hooking these people so that the manager could oversell them because they trusted me. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I quit this job. I didn't like it. It was the worst thing ever. I didn't like the feeling of it at all. And so I was like, money or humans? I don't like money anymore. If this is what it takes to make a lot of money, I don't want to do it. Thank you for the Rising Love. Thank you for the thumbs down. And you did. You took it away. Boo. Well, Tiger Strong, there you go. The grocery. Did you you Rising Love? You did it. You stole a like away. Damn you. Oh, I'm gonna let sleep over that one. What time is it here? Let me see. It is almost 8 o'clock. So for these last few sips of wine that I have here before I make my way out into the dangerous abyss of the universe. Is there anything that you all request? This would be like a Casey Kasem dedication and request hour. Oh yeah, Tiger Strong, do not do the Walmart. I will personally come and find you working at Walmart, and I will have you fired. You do not work for that corporation. Although I'll go there and buy shit. So, if you're willing to work for $8 an hour under slave labor conditions. Oh, Zach Chrono. Yeah, social confrontation with strangers is the worst. Yeah, you'd have to huh. Hey, I'll put my, if you got a resume that you need filled out, you can put my name down. I'll be like what do they call those on the resume on the bottom? You put like, here, contact this person, and they'll let you know that I don't suck at life. You like, this is dude I listen to on the internet. He'll give me a whole like. His name's Zen. He's pretty cool. He likes me. So you should give me a job. You could like Zen said, give me a job. You could try that. Just walk in, they'd be like, yo, Zen said, give me a job. You should just start with that. Oh, Rising Love, you want a card? I don't know if I have any today. Let me go see. I have to go check my book bag. I don't know why I just called it a book bag. Like I'm in elementary school. Oh, hey Jordan, are you asking me if I did an oatmeal fast? Did I say I was gonna do oatmeal fast? I don't remember this. I said I was gonna do a fast. I did a short one. I'm gonna do another one real soon here, cause David Phillips asked to do one towards the new year, and a friend of mine's birthday is actually tomorrow, so I didn't want to fast until after her birthday because I'm probably gonna get all drunked up and then fast after that. I'll do like a short, maybe like a 7 day. If anybody wants to do a short fast with me, maybe I'll do like I don't know, a week of piss, or you can call it urine, or you can call it orin. You can call it the golden elixir, whatever you'd like to call it. We'll do a fast. Maybe like and also because everybody's gonna be celebrating Thanksgiving, and you're gonna need a fast afterwards. So maybe like the 25th to the end of the month. Would that make sense? Because there's what, 30 days or 31? Let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. How many? I don't know. Anyways, so maybe from the 25th to the 1st or something. If anybody wants to join, I'll do like a piss fast, and you can choose your own adventure to do urine or juice or tea or alcohol if you want. If you want like lessons on how to drink alcohol properly during a fast. I love Kitesh. That's so funny. When I was home for a little bit, home when I was at my childhood house, not even my childhood house, but where my parental figures lived. Um, I tried to tell them that they literally got so mad at me that they about kicked me out of the house. They told me because I said something on the movie. I was like, I don't believe this shit. Like, and they got so mad at me that they started doing research on the internet to try to prove me wrong about saying they're like, oh, this happened on this thing. I was like, no, that didn't really happen. This is just bullshit. Like I don't. But they're so mind controlled that they were using the mind control device to tell me that the mind control device was correct. I was just like, wow. Yeah, they didn't like me too much because I was like, I'm sorry. I was just like, I don't believe that. And they're like, you don't believe that? They were upset with me that I didn't believe the television. I'm sitting there like sharing them with everything I'm doing in my life and how everything's going. They're like, yeah, whatever. But the TV will tell you. A 2 week fast be called the slow. Own stints. I think it would be called it'd be called the like almost getting there. Oh well, Jordan. But banana, cinnamon, and oatmeal. If I said that, I could have been another one of me. Maybe somebody's downloading shit that looks like me onto a channel that's just like mine. That because I don't remember doing. I don't know why I would ever say that I was gonna do an oatmeal fast because it's not something I would do. I'm suspect of this. If you can find where I said this, I'd be like, well, shit, maybe I was Jordan. There's a chance that I was really high or really drunk, and so I rescind all of that, and I apologize for. But maybe I said I was gonna do it along with something else to cleanse out like my bowels, but I don't remember that. What up, Psychonaut? Where'd you come from? Cool, we'll do it. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Katash. You say you don't know why we got frustrated. You want to shake her. Yeah, I think I'd never hit a baby, but I would shake the shit out of a baby. You know that one. And adults too, and especially elderly people. Elderly people need to be shook. They need that shit that's stuck in their body to shake it out of them. You got to shake it out of them. I mean, think back in the 40s and 50s, they used to have those machines you could stand in with a rubber belt that you put around you that shook you. You know, that one? Most people need to be shook up a little bit. 30 days, half no September, April, June, and November. I like that. I like the rhyme, but I feel like I could put any words in there. 30 days, half November, May, September, and do you remember? Dress up as a homeless person. What do houseless people dress like? Well, Kitesh, if someone accidentally hurts someone, then there's no reason to apologize. Why would someone apologize if it's an accident? Wouldn't make any sense then, would it? If a baby shits its pants, it was an accident. You call it an accident. Does the baby go, "Sorry for pooping my pants"? Accidents are accidents. That's why nobody needs to apologize. Life isn't about apology. It's about being. About being now in the present moment. Focused on the only thing that exists. But then again, who knows? I mean, if you got to apologize, apologize. Jordan, I don't know. Maybe you were smoking weed that day, Jordan, because you said just recently you started smoking again. Maybe you had a dream about me doing this. Maybe Jordan, maybe you did, because I don't remember this. Oh yeah, yeah, Rising Love. I talked about this before. As I'm talking to Jordan about saying I don't remember doing like this whole fucking event. Um, I'm happy to do like like a group thing where we can do. Let's try to get out of body tonight and meet somewhere kind of thing. But I think that would take doing a fast first, at least, and that fasting, and then um, I also got into if we could concentrate on doing it at the same time with the same brainwave patterns and try to find ourselves in a dream world that we can really. And I even talked about this furthering that I could put up a frequency on a computer and we could put the headphones in and listen to the frequency. I mean, that's what all the other I got in this with the all of the other meditation stations and things. Like it's great for getting out of body and causing you to have these experiences because of different frequencies. But you don't know who's causing these frequencies. You don't know what their purpose is. But if we all uniformly said, "Hey, let's go meet on this like walkie-talkie. We're gonna meet on 14.1756387 hertz, right?" Now, if I make a frequency on a computer and we put that in our ears before we go to bed after going through a fast and then getting on a breathing pattern that gets us into a theta brainwave, we say, okay, at 7 o'clock we start breathing, nose, mouth. We go into gamma, we clean up a little bit, and then we go into like a theta brainwave, and then we put on a frequency, and then we can get into that and have like a 3 hour frequency thing. That we have a window that we could be in an out of body experience meeting in the same place on the same frequency. I mean, I'm down to do that. But see, again, I'm down to do that, but I don't have the capacity to do all this shit by myself. I don't have like I'm doing this from a phone. You know what I mean? Like I don't have the I can't even respond to people's emails is what I'm saying because it's too much to do with my thumbs. So I'm like I want to respond to this person and I want to respond so much, but I'd have to make a video. So for me to actually make a frequency for 2 hours, it would take 3 days for me to upload it off of this phone and go through this whole thing. Like if anybody else wants to help and do this shit, like it's not that I don't know how all this shit works and how to do it. Like if I had somebody here, we could be like setting up the whole process right now, but I just don't have that. So if anybody wants to do at least the fast, I'm down to do the fast. If we want to figure out a way of meeting up on a frequency on December 2nd, 700.2 hertz, whatever, I'm down. I mean, it's not even a, yeah. Sticky Icky, North Korea is a movie set. That's damn right. Everything on the TV is a movie motherfucking set. I mean, people gotta recognize that. That's number one. What up, Daniel Benson? Zach Chrono, what you mean? What games have I ever played? You talking about like video games? Come on, man. I mean, what kind of shit are you asking me? I got a fucking Nintendo tattoo right there. Ask me what games I played. Card games, video games. You talking about Xbox? You talking about like physical games, like in the like out there? But if you're talking about like games, I would guess like Assassin's Creed is pretty dope. Katamari Damacy is one of my favorite games. Um, there's a lot of them, man. Yeah, Un, since we're gonna have a out of body group orgy, it's gonna be amazing. Zach Crony, you made his sigil become God? No, you're already God. You just make the sigil to be what you want to be. So you gotta start with the framework that you are God. You say I am God, and then go from there. The only thing you can be is less than God. You can't go back to what you already are. Yeah, I Rising Love. I got you there. I would it would be a weird thing though getting on a different frequency that if we agreed on a video that anybody else could be on that bandwidth. Like think about it in the sense of like back to walkie talkie thing. Um, that bandwidth is already like stapled there by someone for some reason for some purpose, and that's the only like without having interference patterns into hey, I want five people here. I want to know these five people were here. Where getting out of body, like, oh, I got a body and I seen this and this is, well, you might not be aware, but I was hanging out with you. But because you don't have consciousness of it, right? But if we were like, oh, we're coming here to this frequency at this one time, right? So that's the only like dilemma I have with that concept. Is it's too much to qualify. Say. Well, did you really get out of body? Where was the card? Was it up over the refrigerator, or was it that kind of game? Do you remember doing this? Do you remember the time we were doing this? Yeah, Zach Chrono, lots of video games, man. I don't know. Lots. I'm not. I used to be sports games, and then I was more like, Fable was cool. Adventure games, a hero, a hero. No, it wasn't hero. Fable was the game that I recognized. I used to think it was Hero, and I thought I was living in like an alternate universe where they changed the title of the game. Um, but Katamari Damacy, that's the shit right there. Yeah, they're not sticky icky. They are not doing anything with the sun. The sun is the sun is the sun is the sun is the sun. And if we're to the point where we can't even trust the sun, then everybody should just like fucking off themselves immediately, because there's nothing you can do about it anymore. So if you're saying they're doing something, to the sun, no. How long did you look at the sun? It didn't fuck up your vision. The circle thing you're saying is what will happen to anybody that stares at the sun, because it's the same way you could look at a wall right now. You could look at a color on a. You could look at a page, and it's going to burn that into your retina, and you can project it against the wall. And if you're looking directly at the source of light, well, you're going to be holding on to that a lot longer. It's going to be doing a lot more healing for you. So I don't know, man. I don't know, Stikiki. I'm not going to buy in this. They're doing something to the sun bullshit. Like, okay, I get it. They are, and what is fucking things up. But if they're to the point where fucking up the sun, well, then we're all done anyways. But I don't have any problems with the sun. Tiger Sean, there you go, man. Well, dimension extensions. If now you here, so if this is helping you in any ways, cool, man. I'm glad you could come here and get you outside of your reptilian government acid man. Hopefully this is a little more alkaline or something. I don't know. Not that I don't not that I don't put acid as a snake into things. You know what I mean? But hopefully this is helping you a little bit. Maybe those black orbs are getting that out of your consciousness. Hopefully. Some parts of that acid are burning parts of your consciousness out of you rather than like you project them and see them for a second until you release them. It's kind of like ayahuasca or like any of the other dimethyltryptamine or any of the other acid-based compounds that are how to explain it. If you're cycling blood through your system and those harmonic resonances which occur because of your brain waves that are amplifying what's going on within your holographic matrix, which is individual blood cells that then become amplified to create what it becomes your pineal gland that you project out in front of you or inside of you within the acidic nature of the construct of LSD or whatever chemical it is that you get to like burn through that experience or burn through that. You know, it's like let it like he said, let it burn, let it burn. You know who that is, right? So the idea of burning through Prometheus's fire or Luciferian or the Lucifer concepts of lighting things up or burning something off. Acid is a burning substance which burns off those the salts usually, and so this connection to like stop consuming salts and these acids do a different job. So these darkness shadow figures and things are actually just the shadow that exists because of the brightness that was brought on by the Luciferian construct. And when I say Luciferian, I mean to bring light to something, and then that shadow that comes behind whatever the figure is, which is the block, which would be a salt. So the Lucifer, the acid, hits the salt and creates the shadow behind it. And this is why people have intense experiences, because it's burning through the salts. If you didn't have salts in your system and you fasted, you could take any substance you want in your body and it'd be very different. But most people, they're dealing with salt constructs and salt matrices in their body when they do chemicals. And this is why people take like ayahuasca or whatever and they'll vomit because they're dirty. A shaman's not going to vomit. You can take, someone that's really good at whatever it is they're consuming, they're not going to release, they're not going to shit, they're not going to puke because they don't have anything to get rid of. They already see the clear. They see clear light. But if you have a block in your system, which is a salt, it's going to cause the shadow. Whew. There you go. You're welcome for that one. That was big. You should highlight that and listen to that again. So I did mention, I hope you listen to that and feel free to rewind that. Tequila and red pepper, good stuff. That's strong medicine there, Daniel Benson. That's real good, like especially if you have good tequila, like the tequila plant. Well, tequila plant, the plant that makes the tequila, the good tequila. There's lots of healing qualities in that, and obviously when you get into like the Mexicans, the Aztecs, the little browner people, and what they were consuming and why, especially when you get to the diets of everybody that has an ancient culture and a civilization of why they consume certain substances, the tequila, with the pepper. I mean, we turned it into salt, which is not a good idea, but the pepper is the good idea, and even the worm, all that stuff. But that's going to clean you right out, man. Yeah, Daniel Benson. Most people don't know this. I did a pretty intense, very intense alcohol burning spirit ceremony. I used vodka though, because it was the most cleansing. In fact, it was called Rain. It's called Rain vodka. Funny enough, because the other things like gin will be adding something to your system. tequila will be adding something. Um, Whiskey is super adding. You don't want to. You don't ever want to cleanse with the brown liquor. You want to play with brown liquors. It's like that's why the rum and the brown liquors are always connected to the pirates. The pirates are all. I don't want to do all that right now, but anyways, cleansing, the easiest, best way to cleanse is to use vodka, and then tequila and gin can be aids in cleansing, as long as you know that you're getting spirit in there as well. Because in gin you have the spirit of all the plants, and in tequila you have all of the spirits of, especially there's one major spirit that you're getting out of the tequila. So those two are adding spirit to you, but those spirits are usually beneficial, helpful to your, advancement. Where rum, not necessarily. It can be, but it's brown liquor. It's dark. There's a reason. How the hell did that get so dark? What is that extra essence and element it's a dark liquor. So you find the spirit of the one-eyed pirate, and when you get into all the lore and the story of what the pirates were, you find a different reason. It's not to say it's bad, because it's not. It shouldn't be used for the same purpose. There's a purpose for vodka, clear, clean, nothing. It removes. It's a removal system. So. Ooh, the black cat's fun stuff. Black cats are very powerful. They're not bad luck, they're good luck. Agave. Yeah, agave. Yeah, man. Dimension extensions, that's good, man. The blood and green mucus, for sure. Anytime, what do they say? It's better out than in, right? And especially the blood. You get blood clots. Like, I just did some cupping the other day. And then I got a couple lancets so I could do some wet cupping. Because I have a couple blockages, especially I get them in my ankles. It's just from years of playing sports and doing things that were very abusive at my ankles that I didn't take care of. So, lancets and doing wet cupping is pulling the basically like blocked up salty membranes and just coagulation of blood in different parts of the body. So blood and mucus are coming out of the body is a good thing. Always. Tiger Strong, the elite are not going to come and get you if you create an empire. Because they all have empires. They're not in the business of destroying. They're in the business of building. See? Freemasons build. Just because what they're building isn't great doesn't mean they're in the business of destroying your business. They're in the business of creating and amplifying their business. If you don't do anything to get in the way of their business, they don't do anything in the way of your business. They tend to their business. It's just that easy. And the only thing you see on the news is a few people getting murdered and whatever. Like, no, that didn't happen. They were already part of an institution displaying the idea that you need to be fearful if you're into the community of homeopathy. They'll kill the homeopathic doctors. No, they're not doing that. They're not doing. They're making you think that you don't need to go. Don't talk about it. Don't do it. So they hired 5 actors to say they're homeopathic doctors that were never fucking doctors ever, and they just killed off their character. That's all. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your business. Build an empire. They dare you to. What up, Aldrin? Yeah, well, dimension extensions. I've never been a big fan of the acid myself, but I mean, Rising Love. I've done a bunch of videos on alcohol fasting. So, I mean, other than like that's a really good breakdown that I already gave, and you can go into my other fasting work, and I've always talked about alcohol in there, as to the use of it, because people need to realize the Shakta and the Shakti and the Shiva, the builder and the destroyer, and a lot of things in the body. Everybody always wants to this. I always give this analogy about green tea. Everybody's like, "Oh, we need an antioxidant." Like, no, you need an oxidant. You need more oxygen in your body. You need to breathe more. You need things that are going to break down things in your body because you have shit in the way. We need to clean the body out. And how do you clean your body? You clean it with how do you clean your house? You clean it with two things. You clean it with alcohol and vinegar. Spray your windows with vinegar. Spray your windows, put some alcohol in there. It's cleaning things. It's doing no different in the body. This is why kombucha is so good. This is why alcohol is so good. You don't use it to build the body. I'm not going to build my body with alcohol. I'm not going to build my body with vinegar. It's ridiculous. But to get everything out of the single cellular structure in my body right there. It's all a mess. There's fats in there. If there's fat in here, what doesn't fat mix with? Vinegar? Alcohol? Alcohol and vinegar? Pick one. Goes in there, pushes the fat out. The fat gets out of my body. Salts? Not mixing very well. It's going to push all the garbage out of your body. You don't build with it. There's no reason to do that, but there is certainly a reason for 99.9% of people to consume alcohol in any form. Especially, like, we can keep it simple, keep it like 3%, 4% beer, because most people probably shouldn't be. If you can spit hot fire and flames out of 100 proof alcohol, then you know what you're doing. You're a shaman. But most people should be dealing with beer. Clean your body. But most people are so far behind in the game, they want to catch up and they want to clean their body. Well, then start using some higher degree energy. There's more energy in 180 proof than there is in 6 proof. Simple. But you better know what you're doing, because the proof is that they're saying, prove to me. And so if you can take 100, if you can take 100 proof, 100 proof is that's the point of lighting something on fire, which is 50% alcohol. If you have 80 proof, you can't light that on fire. If you have 100 proof, you can light that on fire. Because 100%, it's 100 proof. It's proof to 100%. Like, you can do that. Light it on fire. It's proof that it's good. It's proof that it's doing something. So, you know, I don't. It's funny because people have such a bad opinion of alcohol and tobacco for wrong reasons. Because don't take alcohol, don't tobacco. Oh yeah, but then here, take this little white pill. Come on. See, people just because people aren't schooled on how to use it. I wouldn't be telling anybody to use, like, don't go buy Everclear and drink a bottle of it. That's ridiculous. But in the right quantities, it's going to be super cleansing. Just like you wouldn't drink too much. If you drank kombucha every day, you'd burn your body out. You'd kill yourself. Kombucha is equally as not good. Now you'd be like, oh, kombucha's great. I mean, yeah, it's great, but you know, vegans out here drinking the kombucha with everything. Like, oh, you're gonna skinny and you're gonna hurt yourself if you keep drinking kombucha. Kombucha is not supposed to be like. It's a supplement to your diet. It's not a dietary, like, you know. It's not the focus of it. Your focus needs to be something else. These things are. We got to deal with cleansing and building as two separate things. And most people try to put it into one little thing, and you can't do it. You have to do it during one or the other. Go that way or go that way. Well, Zach Chrono, that's what's already been done. So have fun with it, man. Do it. Have fun with that. Just watch out. It doesn't backfire and use that Chrono. Make sure some larger master teacher doesn't take your sigil and suck it up and eat it. There you go, Rise Love. It is all fear porn, that's for sure. Tiger Strong, yeah. Everyone sells out for everything. But what if you sell it for something good? For a noble cause. Cam, I've done so many talks on addiction and past and retardation. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I spent most of my life in those things. I don't really have a lot of juice in me right now to go that deep on that because um yeah, I'm a little spent 2 hours in, man. But addiction to people, man. I mean, it's like addiction to anything. Like what kind of purpose purpose do you deliver and do you get? What kind of response do you get? What kind of like benefit do you get? Sometimes I drink because I like what I get out of it. Sometimes I drink because I feel like I need to, right? Sometimes I fast because I think I need to. Sometimes I fast because I get a benefit out of it. Everything in life has this certain yin yang juxtaposition of what is the benefit, what is the addiction, what is the benefit. Like even, people can be addicted to fasting. People can be addicted to healthy things, but then those healthy things become very unhealthy because the need for it becomes, oh shit, I need to eat carrots every day. I'll Then it becomes to the point where I'll fucking run through the supermarket, knock an old lady over to grab, you know, carrots for the day, right? See, everything has this kind of wibbly wobbly teeter totter to um, parasitic, addictive qualities and relationships and it's not, we use the thing is about people is we find it easy to look at a single item like a pill or a cucumber or name it and go, okay, that is that. But we look at a person, we see it as multidimensional, multifaceted, so we don't see uh, those same types of qualities and addictions to people. Yet they still do. But I'll try to, bring that up another time, man. I'm like 2 hours in. I'm about spent on this talk anyways. So I'm just trying to wrap this up with, but I'm happy to do that later, man. Yeah, and Rising Love, I'm down to do that. Yeah. Hit me in the email and let me know like, I mean, you want to do the like whenever you want to start this fast. I'm gonna stay in contact somehow, and we'll start this fast in a couple days after this little giving of thanks for whatever reason people do, or whatever day it might be, and we'll do a fast, and then we'll get on to how to figure out how to link up on the astral realms. You know, it's a little different for me just because I haven't really steadily been there in the dream world recently because I've been too involved in this world and teaching people that I had that me getting back into that in a very cohesive conscious state in those realms is a little more difficult. So we'll do it together. Just let me know when you want to start doing this. Aldrin, I don't know, man. The cutting your hair thing, I'll do that another time. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I think for most people, the natural things that occur should be continued to be. Why would a man have a beard if he was supposed to cut it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Why doesn't a woman have a beard? Why does a man have a beard? It seems like there's some sort of grand purpose to it. It doesn't seem so. This gets into this whole fucking retardation, because I like the word retardation, of mental imbeciles that because they believe in science and evolution that they can say something so stupid as to, well, we came out of the water, bro. Something exploded and walking on the water. Well, how the fuck did I start to grow a beard, but this girl I'm dating over here and every other woman that I've ever met doesn't grow a beard? What evolutionary thing caused me to have a beard and that woman not have a beard? There's no purpose for me to have a beard. Unless something is different. Unless there's something genuinely part of this wild existence that we have that says, hey, this is my fucking beard and I should let it go. And I think trimming it and being, cleanly to a degree, I think there's something to it. But I don't know, man. I think I think most people should have long hair. I think most people should have let their hair go. I think there's a reason for some people to cut their hairs at times, but most people should be letting their hair go. What up, Manny Firm? I don't think you're gonna get killed or cloned. I think it's all just a joke. I've heard of young Pharaoh. Is that Chrono? The industry is weird. That's why stay out of it and just start your own industry. So check it out, y'all. I gotta call this an evening because I'm all spent on it. I didn't think I'd be on here for 2 hours, but it's been fun and hopefully everybody's enjoyed. And as usual, you can feel free to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and if you'd like to financially contribute to my insanity through all of the buttons, the PayPal's, and all that shit. And yeah. I'm just going to read through these last couple questions here and see. Oh, yes. So good to see y'all. All right, y'all. I'm about to kick it out of here. Stay well, do good things, inspire the world, and get yourself a bidet if you don't have one, because they're great. Keep your butthole clean. That's always nice. You don't gotta walk around with a poopy butthole. Remember that. It's sage wisdom. Stay well, y'all. We'll talk soon.